All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our quarterly Sports and Tourism Committee meeting. Today we have Jason Siegel of the Greater Orlando Sports Commission is going to be giving a presentation to us in a little bit. But first, we have Stephen Clenny from the Office of Visit Lake with some updates about what's going on here in Lake County. Stephen?
Thank you, Amanda. Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well on safe these times. So I wanted to kind of go over, as we've been doing the last time as well, just go over a little bit of updates from the Office of Visit Lake, the market analytics, what the industry is showing as a whole, and what we've been reporting as well to our Tourist Development Council here locally. So Tiffany and I will be sharing a little bit more updates on the performance and then what we have coming for the future as well. And also, we want to thank Jason from the Greater Orlando Sports Commission for joining us this morning. It has a great update as well, and they're great partners of ours in Lake County as well as across the region of Central Florida, and for bringing back tourism and for helping all of our areas as we're all safe and able to recover from all this. So we'll just jump right in. So we'll go a little bit over what Visit Lake has done in terms of COVID-19 response. A little bit of the market analytics and industry updates as far as for what we've been seeing and what our research has shown and actual data has shown for Lake County performance in the hotel markets, and then some other updates from our office, what we're currently doing in a market to help drive visitors in for events and marketing. So you can see here some of the responses that we did since the COVID-19 pandemic started in Lake County. We opened up and we created two different websites, one for a travel information page, which is visitor facing for COVID-19. We've been updating that as regularly as we possibly can. Any new executive orders that come down, any new reopenings in phases that are going in, that's where we update for the travelers, any attractions that reopen. This is where we're putting in their information so the traveler has the most up-to-date information possible when they're looking to book their stay in Lake County. That is if you go to visitlakefl.com, there's a hyperlink at the top for COVID-19 travel information page, and you'll be able to see that there. We also have a COVID-19 partner resources page. That was started as well, just kind of an aggregate source of everything for information that has business resources, employee resources, tourism industry specific marketing resources, educational webinars, information that was on the PPP grants and the EIDL loans. All of those pieces, we try to pull them all together to be a reliable source of information and just one more place our county partners can go to find information. Also throughout, I'm sure, and hopefully at least you've seen some of these emails and newsletters coming out from our office. It's been a new thing that we've been working with our office communications on. Trying to provide reliable information, current information. And we're also trying to get some feedback too. So there's been a couple of surveys in there. And then as you know, everything's been changing over the course of the few months. We've been pivoting as well and trying to get some more information from what our office can do to assist our partners and what we can do to better promote our partners and our destination. And so they have slowed down a little bit. They were weekly, and so they have slowed down depending on the need of time. But we are still pushing those out. Also, Tiffany and I both regularly attend industry webinars and sessions online just to get an idea of what's going on across the country, what's going on across the region and the state, so that we're up to date on all of the resources that are out there for our partners and then for how to best move forward. Also, Tiffany's doing a great job on social media and being consistent and present on social media, showcasing what it is to travel here and that is still a beautiful destination to come visit. Then again, we've also been supporting through our marketing programs, our co-op programs, and our event sponsorship program, looking forward for what we have. All right, so now we're going to get into some numbers and some interesting information. So market analytics. And so this is our fiscal year tourist development tax revenue for the past 3 years. So 2018, 2019, and then 2020 in green. The most recent number we have is for the April stays April total collection was $90,016. It was a 72% decrease year over year. Where in March, the pandemic was officially named the pandemic, middle of March. April was by far one of the worst months of total tourist collection in Lake County in the recorded history that we find. May, and we'll show this in a little bit too, we haven't received the tax collection information yet, but May, we're projecting still not good, but better than what April was in terms of year-to-year percentage. And so that is there. And so here's just another way of our cumulative revenues just over the past 3 years and how we were trending. And then when March hit, started to flatten out a little bit. And so we're hoping to see some more increases to make up for some of these losses over the last couple months and over the last quarter. So cumulative fiscal year-to-year, year-to-date, TTT revenue collections. As you'll see in 2020, we are cumulatively down 12.5% year over year, just under $2 million. And so we're, again, hoping over the next few months in the last quarter of the fiscal year that we can help regain some of these through some of our marketing efforts, and as we'll see as the pandemic or as the landscape changes in the situation, but these are the current numbers. So based off the STR reporting, so Smith Travel Research and their hotel performance indicators, here's where Lake County occupancy is at over the last 5 years. You'll see the slide starting February into March and then April as the lowest point. April occupancy was 28.8% across the county. And then in May, as you see, there is that uptick that went up to 37.6%. Across the region as a whole, we look at basically our neighboring counties. Let's see, everyone saw that same slide. Osceola and Orange County saw the largest deficits there and largest decreases year over year, mostly because of the convention spaces in the majority of hotels that are reliant on those. That was being seen across nationally, is that those major metro areas and convention destinations really saw the greater hit. But you see, as we're all kind of climbing back out of it in this last May, everyone did start taking an uptick, and so we're excited to see. In June, we're reporting healthy as well. ADR, our average daily rate over the last 5 years, you'll see again, 2020 in March and then April kind of bottomed out, but we're again starting to pick up back up towards May. We should be receiving June information from STR in the next week or two. And so in May, the average daily rate was $75.12, which was down 18% year over year. And across the region, the same. You can see where March and April, everyone started to bottom down, but May did start to pick up for across the region, some greater than others. Then the revenue per available room, or RevPAR, you'll see again for Lake County over the last 5 years, again, the decline in March and April, then picked back up in May. So the last May was $28.22 revenue per available room, and which was about 52% down year over year. Again, when April was down 70% year over year, it's still not great, but it's not as bad as April was. So there are signs of increases and positive trends. And again, across the region, you can see where we're standing in terms of our performance across the other counties. The more rural counties, Marion County, Lake County, are performing slightly better per available room versus Orange, Osceola, and Seminole. Any questions on any of the analytics? All right, awesome. So Tiffany will speak a little bit more about our office updates. Tiffany? Or I can share, so don't know if just muted. A little bit of what we've been doing lately over the past, what launched early in June was our Perfect Distance Away campaign that we worked with our ad agency, Acres Media, and our media buyers, the Watauga Group. And so this was a new campaign that was designed for the drive market, primarily in the state of Florida, really focusing on the brand of the Real Florida, Real Close, and expanding on that theme. And so being that Lake County is the perfect distance away for your next trip, your next safe family trip to do what is deemed as socially distant and safe activities like being outdoors, hiking, biking, paddling, all these different activities, golfing. So this is where this campaign came from. So we were really excited working with our partners at Acres Media in Watauga to create this campaign, which is fully faceted from the display ads here to video commercials and TV commercials that you'll see on Fox coming up, on YouTube, on streaming channels, as well as an influencer program that we're currently working on. And so we're trying to target a lot of different channels, a lot of different medias to really hone in on the 2-hour drive market, which is basically the I-4 corridor, and as well as South Florida, and then we're targeting North Florida as well. And as we're watching this campaign evolve, we're looking at which of these demographics and which of these geolocations are performing the best, and then we are working through the campaign through there. And so we're making it as refined and as efficient as possible to help drive as many visitors as possible to Lake County as safely as possible. Let's see, is Tiffany still there, or? No? Okay.
She's unmuted. It's not working for some reason.
Oh, okay. So this is something else that Tiffany's been working on with Visit Florida, and so it's been a really good program. It's been really exciting. It's a press trip and bringing in more influencers as well, working on a long-form blog post out of Atlanta. So this is something that Tiffany again was working on with Visit Florida, as well as other counties with Polk and Pasco County, as well as Lake, to bring in this family from 365 Atlanta Traveler down at the end of July to really see what was going on and to have them write a little bit more about our destination and as they're traveling through our areas, more of the ecotourism type feel. And so we're very excited. So Leslie Peterson and her family will be traveling down, and then they'll be producing a long-form blog post that we'll be using through our medias and then through theirs too. They were named one of the top 50 travel blogs, named top 50 travel blogs. They're number 21. And so they have a very strong social following as well. And so we're very excited to host them down here at the end of this month. And something else we wanted to share a little bit too for what we've been doing in terms of our event sponsorships and cooperative marketing program. These are still open. And so we encourage our partners that if you are hosting safe events and if you are promoting your attractions, please take advantage of our programs. Please apply. These are still opportunities. And as you can see, year over year in fiscal year 20, in green and 19 in blue, you'll see that the co-op program, even though in May was down, but our increase in applications is there. And so we are here to support our local partners and getting your word out. Again, our cooperative marketing program is a marketing and advertising campaign grant where we can help pay for half of your media buy and some other options as well. And so that is something you can find more information on our Visit Lake partner portal. So that's at visitlakefl.com/partner portal. Same thing with our event sponsorship application. You can find that information there, as well as the other industry resources that we can help provide. And you'll see in June, we did see an uptick in sponsorship applications we've received. And so as we did see the dip in March and April, then in May, we're trying to get these applications in earlier, of course, so that's one less thing as you as an event planner, as a promoter have to worry about. But then we also try to get these processed as quickly as possible to post-event so that we can get the money and funds back in your hands. And then a little bit of update from the sports side and what we've done in terms of events. Really excited that before all this, we did host some amazing events. So I did want to share about those. So the Big Bass Tour in early February, 814 anglers from 23 different states came to Lake County, generating over 680 room nights and over $500,000 in economic impact. So we're really excited in showcasing, of course, our fishing destination, as well as all of our other sports and venues here. These are just some of the items that we do. The event's contracted to return in 2021. And so we are excited to, again, host them safely in the early February again. Also, another unique event that we hosted was the 2020 FLW Pro Circuit, which is one of the largest professional fishing leagues in the country. That was at the end of February. 226 anglers and marshals from 32 different states generated almost 1,500 total hotel rooms and $775,000 in economic impact. What's also really cool and great timing with this meeting, this event also produces a 2-hour-long television show, which will be premiering this Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. on the Outdoor Channel. And then also we'll have some re-airs through the Discovery program or Discovery Channel network and then online. And so we're really excited for this, showcasing the Harris Chain of Lakes and Lake County as a great destination, not only for fishing, but just to visit. Then after that, the week after the Pro Circuit event, we had the 2020 FLW College Fishing Championship, which saw almost 300 total anglers from 29 different states, generating over 1,500 total hotel rooms and $1.3 million in economic impact to the area. And so we're very excited. This is a long length of stay for these events, for practice and the tournaments themselves. So we're just really excited to continue working with the sport and supporting all of our sports and venues here in the county. And so this event will also produce a 30-minute television show, and they have not yet released those premiered dates. Then finally, kind of coming up, some other events that we've either closed or rescheduled or lost, just updates on what events we're working with. We rescheduled a bunch of events to 2021 or later in 2020. We actually, the Bass Fishing League, which is an amateur fishing league with FLW, was rescheduled from March until this coming weekend, so July 11th. Also, the American Cornhole Organization Major and Florida State Championships. We hosted that event in 2019. Unfortunately, had to postpone it to 2021, and we're working with the City of Claremont on those new dates. And then also, we were going after and unfortunately did not win the AWSA Water Ski National Championships, which we're looking for a new home in October of 2020. But we wish them the best, and we were working with Travers, located in Groveland, Claremont area, on this event. Again, coming up in 2021, we have a really good series of events that we're hoping to help close out here in the next couple months, and we can announce a little bit more details on these. But here are some of the events that we're looking at in terms of our fishing tournaments with Bass Eastern Opens, the FLW Toyota Series, and then the Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tour. And that concludes the Visit Lake update. Be happy to answer any questions.
If anyone has any questions, just go ahead and unmute yourself real quick and ask Stephen whatever questions you may have. We'll go ahead and open it up to Jason Siegel from the Greater Orlando Sports Commission. Stephen, if you could go ahead and unshare your screen so Jason can go ahead and share his. Perfect.
There you go.
Yep, and Jason, whenever you're ready.
Good morning. Can you all hear me okay? All right, sounds good. I want to thank David and Amanda for the opportunity to join you all this morning. Our good partners, Steve and Brandon at the county. Always a pleasure to join you. Have quite a bit to share, so let me go ahead and put the screen up for you all. Okay, and we'll go there. Can you see that okay?
Yep.
Great. Okay. All right. What I wanted to give was a brief overview the work that the Greater Orlando Sports Commission does. Our mission: strategically solicit, create, and support sports-related events and businesses that boost our community's economy and drive awareness of our destination. Moving on, as you can see, we are unusual in that we are one of the few regional sports commissions that are still active across the United States. It wasn't very long ago that there were 100 sports commissions in the United States. There are now close to 650. And at the same time, we are one of 34 sports commissions in the state of Florida. So as you can see, our footprint stretches quite an interesting footprint and radius, as you can see on the screen. Moving to the next slide, we focus in 5 major areas. And it's interesting because when I talk to my counterparts, there are some markets that have a little bit of a different screen that they'll show and areas that they target. But for us, we're very involved with our partners at the Olympic Committee. There's over 50 Olympic sports. Esports is a new category, but certainly an area that we target. Of course, marquee events. We've hosted a number of large market events that have come into, in most cases, downtown Orlando, and then NCAA championships and youth and amateur, which makes up the largest percentage of events that we traditionally host as a sports commission. Moving on to the next slide, a little bit about the COVID response and its effects on Greater Orlando, Central Florida, and of course, Lake County. We felt it necessary to go back out to the market. Usually we put an annual report out every December, January. We felt it was important to give an update to the community on where we stood. And as part of our mission, there are 3 areas that we focus on. Of course, as an economic development organization, driving business and economic impact. Secondly, marketing of the destination. And in a lot of cases, we're a collaborative entity that's tasked with bringing all the stakeholders in the community together for an opportunity to, in most cases, strategically plan. But in the case of COVID, our responsibility changed drastically, in which I feel like we became more of an aggregator of information so that we could share best practices, protocols, and procedures within the marketplace. And we've done that over the last 14, 15 weeks since most people went to work from home starting on March 16th. So with that, we launched our twice-a-week newsletter, which has received quite a bit of positive feedback. Like I mentioned, as we aggregate a lot of resources and information, folks in Lake County able to go on there and get a lot of information about not only the sports development and bidding landscape, but of course throughout all of sports. With that, we ramped up a number of areas. So instead of just holding our quarterly board meetings and our esports meetings and task force meetings, we actually transitioned to bring all of our sports venue partners together so that we could certainly, again, aggregate tremendous amounts of information. As you can see, these are just some of the guidelines, articles. This is a list. The guidelines came from around the country. Of course, we have the USTA locally. We have the training center, of course, in Claremont. We have the LPGA. We have so many folks in our community that have extensions throughout the world. So it was really key for a lot of those folks to be bringing information back to us. European soccer, bringing those guidelines back to us so that we were kind of getting a look into the future so that we could get a little bit of a heads up and a little bit of a jump on things that we could do in our community to help everybody return safely. And of course, those meetings are ongoing. They happen on a weekly basis. If you're interested in joining us and you haven't been on those calls, then I would suggest and recommend that you contact us so that we can get you included on those calls. Traditionally, as you saw on the screen, we'll have anywhere from 30 to 50 individuals with us for those calls as we go through and talk about the matters at hand, which, as you all know, are changing fluidly and daily. Wanted to also bring your attention to Central Florida now has, in Greater Orlando, we have a WISE chapter. So if you're not participating, you should consider this. There are a number of leaders in our community who have come together to start the Women in Sports and Events chapter. WISE is a nationwide group. Lindsay, who's on the call, is one of the committee members. I know that we have Lindsay and Brent from my team on the call in case there's any questions later on, but I wanted to highlight that the WISE chapter has launched. They are currently taking new members, and this is a terrific opportunity for women in the industry to participate. So I hope and would encourage you to do so. Moving along to give you just a sense, a global sense, the macro idea of what's taken place since the COVID pandemic and events started shutting down in mid-March. For us, we had 28 total events scheduled from March 1st of June 30th, 2020. We were fortunate before that to get 19 events completed, but as you can see, of the 28 events that were originally scheduled, 13 of those events were canceled and not rescheduled. Of the majority of those, NCAA championships, high school sports in which the seasons were either cut short or never started in the first place. 2 events that were partially completed, and 7 events that have been postponed and rescheduled. As you can see, there were 6 events that were completed. We welcomed the women's national team, soccer team, the World Cup champions to town. We had the Arnold Palmer Invitational, Fishers of Men took place, of course, in North Lake. The Sunshine Classic, our triathlon double anvil, and of course, as many saw, WrestleMania was moved from Tampa to Orlando and shot in front of in front of no spectators. So that was done live for tape for airing on April, the first weekend in April. Moving along, some of the new realities, some of the market conditions that I think we're all now very aware of. Of course, travel teams, leagues, and associations are restricted in some of their participation, and that's on a state-to-state basis, as you see some states opening up faster than others. Experts predict, and what we're seeing is it's going to be even greater than this, is that 25% of local youth sports, we think it's actually going to be now higher than 50%, will not return to play in 2020. I think a major issue that we're all going to have to contend with, I have 4 children, is the fact that you're going to have the majority of our adolescents K through 12 not return to athletic participation. They haven't been in a PE class since the middle of March, and depending on how schools reopen in the fall, you could see that last even longer. And of course, we're all aware that mental health and issues with obesity, issues with their safety, those are factors that we're keeping an eye on, because as we know, recreation and school sport lead to the play in travel sport. That travel sport, of course, fuels our industry. Collegiate winter and spring sports, of course, we had the mid-season cancellation most impactfully of right in the middle of March Madness. So it started with some conference tournaments in the NCAA. Of course, you're now reading that there are many fall sports that are in jeopardy. And unfortunately, in addition to that, we're seeing that there are a number of associations, leagues, conferences who are losing programs as schools cut back and look to trim rosters. And you're seeing that some of the traditional programs that have existed in the country, those sports programs at the collegiate level are either being interrupted, paused, or canceled altogether. And then very much on our radar is the fact that the 2020 Summer Olympics have been postponed to 2021. I can share with you all that we are very interested in bringing the U.S. Olympic marathon trials to our region. We know that that would have a great impact on the potential for a lot of those folks training and running here in our communities. Those were held, we went up and visited the folks that hosted in Atlanta. They did a wonderful job. It was a very successful event on February 28th and 29th. And the unfortunate part of that, of course, is that you're going to have a scenario where those athletes may or may not have to re-qualify for the 21 Olympics. Of course, a full year will have gone by in between the trials in February and what could potentially be the Summer Olympics in 2021. So just some information there. Moving forward and looking ahead, we have commitments and we're very excited. If the timing had been a little better, I was joking with Steve that we could have maybe pushed this meeting back and done the announcement during this meeting, but we're very fortunate and excited to be announcing two big wins for Lake County. We have those on the docket. Hopefully, if all goes well, we'll make those announcements middle of next week. In addition to a number of other events that we have commitments. We have 84 additional bids submitted for future events. Our team, Lindsay McBride, representing us in Lake County, is hard at work, and we have dozens of events that we're looking at specifically for Lake County. And of course, every day we're inundated with opportunities to pursue. Some of those make sense, some of them do not. I will say that the partnership with Steve and Brandon, the key is that we are always focused on a certain return on investment. So for us, the opportunity to win opportunities for Lake County hinge on the idea that there has to be a return on investment. Of course, that particular conversation only gets muddied when you don't have the opportunity for spectators, because obviously that drives those numbers down. So as I mentioned, a number of market conditions and indicators that we're paying attention to, those are listed on the left-hand side. Some of the things that our organization is doing to mitigate some of the damage that has come our way. I'll share with all of you that I think that the resounding two conversations that we're having lately is because of our community, because of the assets in our community, the venues that we have in our community, there are a lot of event organizers that are not having the opportunity to continue forward with events that they've had scheduled around the country. Some of those are COVID related. Some of those are, just scheduling related. So we know that we're, in fact, one of the Lake County events that we're going to announce next week is a relocation from another state. So I think that the experience that event organizers have when they come, whether it be to the training center or to Mission Inn or those experiences, those positive experiences, the way that we treat and handle our partners is paying a lot of dividends, because we're seeing folks from around the country recalibrate and then, of course, look at bringing their events to our region. Next slide. I wanted to share this with you all. If you're not aware, it's only 2 quick years away. In 2022, we're going to be working with Steve and Brandon, and hopefully many of you. We are going to welcome the Special Olympics U.S. Games to the region. If you take a look at the numbers, they're tremendous. more than 4,000 athletes. I know that number is going to actually be higher because they've done a great job fundraising. The way that Special Olympics works is that they have to raise enough money in the bid fee process, but then after that, every dollar that they raise, of course, will go towards operations and venue, venue acquisition. But the majority of that money, a lot of that money, goes to scholarships for athletes to participate here in the region. So what you have is folks coming from, of course, around the United States, and 10,000 volunteers, coaches, a lot of fans and family coming to join us. Right now, 16 individual sports, although I understand that might go up to as many as 20 different sports. There's two reasons that it's important specifically to our region. The opportunity for folks to travel into the region and participate. The Special Olympics does not pick up the travel costs. So folks who are coming from around the country have to get to the region, and then all of their room and board and accommodations are paid for. So I would encourage, if you work with or have access to folks in Lake County who are active within the Special Olympics, this is going to be a great opportunity for not only our region, but the state of Florida, for those athletes to come and participate, travel into the region, and be part of what we believe will be maybe the largest humanitarian effort in the state's history. Then it's going to be really important to all of us, and what an incredible opportunity for so many athletes to participate. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. Second conversation I wanted to have was about World Cup. You can see some earlier meetings with our governor, with the president of U.S. Soccer. The World Cup, if all goes well, will be coming to Orlando and our region, and I'll get into the impact that it will have on the most of North Florida as it relates to World Cup. We are one of 17 cities that are bidding for 10 spots. You can see the cities that are right now candidate host cities. That list will get narrowed down to 10. We are actively and have been involved since July 10th of 2017 in this process. It could be a 4-year process. We may not find out till summer or late of next year whether we're awarded host city status. If we are, it's going to have between a $600 and $800 million impact to the region. Not only would you have matches played at Camping World Stadium, you would have training sites that would need to be activated as part of this. You could have countries setting up base camps in which all of their membership, could join us here in the region. And with all of that activity, we know that economic impact is going to spread to, at a minimum, a 90-mile radius, but it could stretch as far as Tampa, up into Daytona, and potentially as far north as Jacksonville. So there's going to be an awful lot of interest in our bid pursuit. We have a number of representatives from Lake County that are already part of our C-level executive organizing committee. We already have over 300 folks signed up to volunteer and lend their influence and talent to our committee. Of course, our sports commission, our Lake County representation on our board, our chairman is Paul Johns from South Lake, and Bud Butcher from Mission Inn. So Paul has done a wonderful job. He's been on our executive committee for quite some time. And of course, we know that the representation from the county is vital. And we've had many conversations with Commissioner Sullivan, Parks, and Campione about the county's participation in that opportunity, as we know that it's going to have a tremendous effect, positive effect on the region. Moving forward, just wanted to share a little bit about some of the particular business, give you a little bit of an overview about economic impact over the years. Unfortunately, this year, we're going to experience anywhere from a 20 to 25% drop in room nights in 2020. Some of the expectations for next year, as some of those events reschedule, is that we could have one of our most successful years in 2021. But you see some of the numbers, over $17 million in impact driven over the course of the 5 years, including this fiscal. Just some highlights, photos from some of the events over that time. Canoe and kayak, of course, at the Claremont Waterfront, and Synchro Masters at the National Training Center, along with some of our long-standing partners. Of course, the NCAA does quite a bit of golf and have for many, many years here in Lake County. Little bit of business development. As you can see, some of the highlights of events that we're looking at going forward. We were really excited to bring together, let me see if I can find that slide. Nope, right here. Okay, top left-hand corner. We were really happy to bring together Commissioner Campione to join Seminole County representation, Osceola County Commissioner Hawkins, so Commissioner Constantine from Seminole, of course, Mayor Dyer and Mayor Demings from Orange County and the City of Orlando. When we announced in early February that we would be bidding on 68 national championships from the NCAA. Some of the notable ones, of course, as we do an awful lot, I mentioned an awful lot of golf in Lake County, but also we are very focused on the beach volleyball championships and bringing those championships to Lake County. This cycle, this particular NCAA cycle, was all championships from 2022 through 2026. This is a highly competitive bid process. The last cycle, there were 1,900 bids submitted. In this cycle, over 3,000 bids were submitted. There are an awful lot of cities that are ramping up and ready to compete for these championships. They know that the return on investment is significant, and we're excited to be part of that process and hope to have some great news when they make their announcements October as to which markets won which events. A little bit of color to some of the development opportunities. Of course, Lindsay and Brent do an awful lot of traveling on behalf of Lake County, so some of the events that we've traveled to, some of the press releases and things that have happened over the past 4 to 5 years. A little bit more here on the next slide to share. And what I would hope to do, and I appreciate all of your time, is if there are any questions, we're happy to answer those. I'll do my very best. Like I said, I've got Brent and Lindsay with me, and appreciate your time, appreciate your attention and your energy, your influence as we look to drive as much impact into your county. And it's a pleasure to be with you this morning. So I will stop talking right there.
Thank you so much, Jason. If anyone has any questions, go ahead, unmute yourself and ask away. Anyone else? Okay. Thank you again, Jason. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and go through everyone that's here. We're going to allow for some committee updates. You know, just let us know what's going on in your world. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with Fred from Summer Sports. Fred, I can't get you unmuted. If you can unmute yourself. There you go.
Hello, everybody.
Morning, Fred.
A couple of weeks ago, we started back up racing again. We had our Cool Summer Morning Series, which involves triathlon, duathlon, aquabike, and a 5K. So we had we followed the safety guidelines established by USA Triathlon and USA Track and Field, and then also some additional ones that we created. And all in all, we had a great event. I was a little bit nervous going into it because the number of cases in Florida was skyrocketing at the same time. But we had a lot of positive feedback from the athletes. A lot of them said they were hesitant to come race, but after they raced, they felt they were treated very safely and thought it was a great race and are anxious to come back. Of course, we're doing it again this Saturday with the second race of the series. It's a 4-race series. We have one event a month, so we're doing it again on Saturday. Our overall numbers were down about 30% from previous years. And we had a lot of people. We also offer virtual options where people can actually do the race on their own time, in their own place. They don't have to come out to the venue. We had like over 125 athletes switch to the virtual option for our June race, and we're seeing a similar thing happening for July. But we're on track, to continue with the rest of our season. We're very excited that we're hosting the USA Triathlon National Ultra Distance Championship. The Ultra Distance Championship is the Ironman distance. So that's coming up on October 24th. So the Ironman organization has been canceling a lot of major events around the country. So I think, unfortunately, it's unfortunate for them, but I think it's actually going to help the Great Floridian, because this year marks our 30th year, and it's the oldest independent Ironman distance race in the world. And of course, that's right here in Claremont on October 24th. So we're hoping that things will stabilize. I mean, it's very tough, as you know, being in the event business, because it's hard to plan, and you have to plan for all types of scenarios. And you just keep hoping that things will be on track, that you can continue on. So, but, the safety of the athletes in the community is always first. So we're just glad to be back racing again, or putting on races again. Thanks.
Great, thank you. Kimberly?
Good morning. Yes, we also had a race this weekend. This past weekend, Flowdash Events put on our first Freedom 5K in downtown Claremont, and it went very well. We had everybody socially distanced at the start. Amanda was there, 6 feet apart. It was interesting starting everybody one by one, but it meant that I was the one starting or moving them to the next line, and so I got to see everybody, which is different from most times having a race. But everyone was very complimentary on how we social distanced and how we had the course laid out very wide, and nobody had to be near each other at any point. And then we actually had a volunteer at the finish line spraying people with antibacterial alcohol, actually, before they picked up their own goodies. So we thought, I touch my mouth and my nose and things like that when I'm racing. And so just to make sure that if they were to pick up one thing and then pick up something else, we weren't transferring anything. So I think participants, as it wasn't normal, they were thankful for it. And so we were very grateful for Lake County for supporting us in this race, and then also the city of Claremont for letting us have it. So we're actually looking forward to planning our next 2 events, hoping that we can start more than one at a time, because it did take 1 hour and 10 minutes to get 360 athletes started. But if we have to do it this way for longer, we're training the athletes, we're training the participants to know that this might be the norm for a while. And everybody did wonderfully. They listened to everything that we said as far as moving away from the finish line as soon as it was done. No awards on site. We're mailing them and things like that. So it was good. We also had 75% of our participants pick up their packet ahead of time because we gave them an incentive. And we also made it easy for them to do with 2 days of picking up their packet. And that brought people into downtown twice during their time. So we had about 40% of athletes that came from outside of Lake County. We had a team of cross-country runners who traveled from Fort Myers and stayed 2 nights. And so we were really grateful for the opportunity to have the live race.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Lori Beth?
Good morning, everybody. So nice to see you. Yep, Lori Beth from the Days Inn and Suites in Claremont. We are open for business. Let's see, we've kind of pivoted is the word that everybody's using, using our grab and go breakfast and practicing social distancing and check-in and at checkout, and also contactless check-in and check-out. We do have rooms available if anyone has anybody from out of town that's coming to visit. But also to let you guys know, we do have a good amount of meeting space. If any of you have any meetings that you need a venue for, even if it's kind of quick, we can certainly, work with you as far as pricing, or if you guys know of anyone, maybe weddings, church events, anything like that that you may have a need, we'd certainly love to work with you. You can either reach out to me or our general manager, Chastity, but we'd love to have you guys, and we're hoping that things kind of pick back up for us all again really soon. So thanks to you guys for the update.
Thank you so much, Lori Beth. Michelle? Michelle, I can't get you unmuted. You'd have to unmute yourself. Tamara.
Good morning, everybody. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. My name is Tamara. I'm from South Lake Hospital Community Relations Department, but I just wanted to let you all know, if you're not aware, early this year, the Orlando Health launched a Business Ready initiative to support those in the business community returning to normal operations. They've actually pulled together experts and hospital best practices and are now offering business community resources related to things like proper hand washing, surface cleaning, mask wearing, social distancing, and so much more. If any of you are interested and you want to hear more about this initiative and how you can protect your business, your clients, your staff, please feel free to reach out. The website for that is www.orlandohealth.com/business ready, just like it sounds. And I'll repeat that, www.orlandohealth.com/business ready. Oh, and just to add, in case you're wondering, the panelists that are going to be participating in some of the virtual webinars that we are going to be holding. I know the Chamber is having one for their Business Ready initiative, but we've got Dr. Donald Plumley, the Chief Quality Officer from Arnold Palmer Hospital, Andy Gardner, Senior Vice President from External Affairs and Community Relations, as well as Kelly Edmondson, the Chief Nursing Officer from Dr. Phillips Hospital. So just wanted to share that bit of information. Everybody stay healthy and stay well, okay?
Thank you, Tamara. We are hosting that webinar on Tuesday, the 14th at 9:30 a.m. So an email should be out this morning with all that registration information. It's also going to go out on Monday in our newsletter, and it's on our Facebook page and website, so you can get all that registration information from there. Brent, did you have anything to add for the Greater Orlando Sports Commission?
Are you hearing me okay?
Yep, sure can.
Okay. No, thank you again for the opportunity. No, Jason covered everything, and it's great to be with you, and hopefully we'll be back in person here sometime in the near future.
And then Lindsay, did you have anything to add?
Not exactly. We were just thankful to the Fishers of Men National Championship. It was the last day before the state shut down, so we were thankful to squeeze that event in, and we're really excited for next week, hopefully to announce 2 events in this fall in Lake County.
Great, thank you so much. Dave?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention the CARES Act funding. I don't want anybody on this call to miss the opportunity. I went to the County Commission meeting yesterday and hope to be on a task force next week, moving the CARES Act funding forward. What that means for our small business community, there's an opportunity to apply for a grant. So that $16 million is the initial funding, and the vast majority of that will go out. So we're trying to make it as simple as possible for people to apply and make those payments very timely. So I know that there's some folks here on this call that could benefit from that, and I will ask Amanda to send it out to the whole committee when that comes through. But we're really focusing on making it timely, making it easy to apply, and getting that funding out. You know, one of the reasons they talked about this funding is trying to help out some folks that were hit by this and had to lose some events. So I think it's an opportunity. It's not a tremendous amount of funding, but you know, indications are, you know, in the $5,000 to $10,000 range is what they will be providing. So I just wanted to mention that, again, focusing on trying to make it as easy as possible for our small business community to take advantage of this. We were much delayed from the big counties. Orange County had this mechanism way back. So, but this will be rolled out very soon. We have a task force next week. It will get approved by the county commission the week after that. So the beginning of August, we should have that available for businesses. So I just didn't want anybody on this call to miss that opportunity.
And then our next meeting is October 7th. At this point, we don't know if it will be in person or if it will be another Zoom call. We're going to play that by ear, but we will keep you updated. If you guys have any information that you want to share with the committee or share with the chamber in general, feel free to email me that information, and we'll go ahead and pass that information along, whether it's to the entire chamber membership or strictly to this committee. My email, you guys should have it. If you don't, it's amandan@southlakechamber-fl.com. And that is everything that we have for this one. I went ahead and we recorded this session as well, so we'll send that out to the committee later today so everyone can kind of see what was going on. If you have any questions, feel free to either email myself, Stephen, or Tiffany, and we'll be happy to answer any of those. So it was great to see everyone, and we look forward to seeing you again in October. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, everybody.